Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today I am going to talk about my top 3 books that I read and studied in first year in English literature. If you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and let me know if you're taking English literature at the moment or if you're about to start it in September. So I think I'm going to go through these in the order I studied them. Looking at them, they're all from the same module. So we did a module called Star-Crossed Lovers, which is basically based upon Romeo and Juliet and such. So my first pick, if we get straight into it, is Romeo and Juliet. As you can see, I have read and annotated this up. Everyone knows this text, and I know that it's such a cliche for an English literature student to love Romeo and Juliet, but honestly, it's my favourite Shakespeare play. It's possibly one of my favourite plays of all time. Probably my favourite piece of literature work. I just love it. I love the story. I know that it's quite unfathomable and unrealistic in today's society, but I just think it's so pure. Or not necessarily pure, but like their love is very pure and just helplessly romantic. I know it ends tragically, but it just goes to show how much they actually care about each other. So I'm not going to talk too much on that one because everyone knows Romeo and Juliet. I love it. It's my top pick. So the next one is Wuthering Heights, which we actually didn't get taught on because of the strikes that affected UK universities this year, but I actually did it at A-level and it was meant to be in our Star-Crossed Lovers module. When you first read this, you will not like it. When I first read it, I did not like it. However, if you're anything like me and you are studying English literature or you're about to start studying it, you will love analysing texts and what they mean and looking at the different themes within them. And I promise you, once you start doing that with this book, you will absolutely love it. I just honestly think that this book has some of the greatest literature quotes that the world has ever seen. For example, let me find it. Before I studied this, I'd seen this quote all over Pinterest and I loved it, and then when I read this book and I found this quote in this book, I was like, oh my gosh, that's where it's from. And it made me really happy, and that's probably the first thing that made me start to love this book. And that is, whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same, which is just helplessly romantic. If you have any novel suggestions, whether they're from, Gothic kind of era or more modern, that have helpless romantic cliches in, send them my way, because this is a slightly creepy book, I'm not gonna lie. Don't watch this if you don't want spoilers, stop now or skip ahead by a minute. It's a bit creepy. He digs up his lover when she is dead and sleeps on the ground with her. It's very creepy, but it's also, I don't know, the creepiness kind of makes me love it because it shows how slightly insane Heathcliff has gone with his love for Cathy. So this is another one that I loved this year and I would definitely recommend. And then the last one is a bit more of a modern one, and it's by an author I had actually never heard of before, and I'd never read this book before I came to uni. That is Sally Smith, Girl Meets Boy. And as you can see, I've tagged this one up completely as well, and I've discovered this year that using paper tags is a bad idea because they go crumply like this, if you can see. Using paper tags is a bad idea. Anyway, this story is kind of a coming of age story. It's about two sisters and it's from two sisters' perspectives, so you get first person in both their perspectives. One of the sisters is exploring her sexuality and the other is anorexic and is kind of in this toxic work environment, so it's just about both the sisters kind of finding their way. And the younger one, what's her name? I forgot her name. Anthea is quite a daydreamer, so you're never entirely sure what's going on or what's real and what's not. That's another thing I really like about this book, because it's quite a daydreamy book, which again is helpless romantic type thing. I really enjoyed this book, and if you're into a modern one, I definitely recommend this one. And it's also so thin, it took me 3 hours to read. So if you want a short book that's definitely worth reading, it's also a really interesting structure. It's not really your typical chapters. It's like this. It's I, you, us. They're the chapter names. There's four, I'd call them sections, not chapters. So it's a really interesting book, so I definitely recommend that one. So those are my top 3 English literature first year books these are the 3 I enjoyed the most. I definitely recommend all 3 of them if you haven't looked at any of them before. If you want to watch a film of Romeo and Juliet, I would suggest the one with Hailee Steinfeld. The acting in it is not the best, but unpopular opinion, I don't like modern versions of Romeo and Juliet or any Shakespeare. Leonardo DiCaprio's version, very unpopular opinion, it just ruins it. Like, the guns are unnecessary. It doesn't need to be brought forward. Leave it back in time where it belongs. That's the film I'd recommend if you wanted to watch that. Definitely let me know any book recommendations you have in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see more English literature themed videos, please don't forget to subscribe and turn the notification bell on. Like this video too, and I will see you in my next one.